Hi everybody, I am Sandeep from the Shalini International Limited. Today I am going to tell you about the Incoterms. You will find there are a lot of articles on the net, but you will not find them with the complete information. I am going to explain the Incoterm in a practical way using my 24 years of experience in the field of export and import. This video will provide you the information in a complete way on Incoterms 2020, which is the latest version of Incoterms. It will be explained in 18 slides, means each Incoterm will be explained in the detail. I have taken almost care so that you will get all the information from this video only and need not to search information anywhere on the web. Now we are moving to the second slide, Incoterms. Now we are on second slide. Understanding of Incoterms is important that it is having impact on the pricing. Any mistake in understanding will bring down the deal margin. If the if the transaction is already having the thin margin, then whole deal may go into the loss. Therefore, understanding of Incoterm is most important for preparing the cost sheet. If the person do not understand which transport and operation cost to be included and excluded, then he cannot arrive at perfect margin of deal. Cost sheet decide whether to enter in the deal or not. Incoterm play a very important role while preparing the cost sheet. Therefore, deep understanding of Incoterm is important. Therefore, it is called a commercial term also. Incoterm define up to which point the risks of loss, damages, cost to be borne by seller and buyer. It avoids the dispute between seller and buyer. It ensures smooth flow of the transaction. The Incoterm was first published in 1936 as Incoterm 1936. Incoterms are revised periodically to keep up the changes in the international trade needs. The latest version is Incoterm 2020. The Incoterms rules were amended in 1953, 1967, 1976, 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, and this is the latest version 2020, which published on September 10, 2019. The scope of Incoterms is limited to the matter related to right and obligation. Please remember, it is related to rights and obligation of the parties to the contracts of sale with, with respect to the delivery of goods sold. Friends, now we will move to the slide 3. Friends, in this slide, we are going to see what Incoterm establishes and the role of Incoterms. See, Incoterm defines only two things. At what point the risks of loss or damage to the goods shift from seller to buyer. See, friends, goods are manufactured in seller factory, then it moves to the warehouse or factory to the customers. It passes through the different mode of transport, and many times there will be loading unloading to the car and handled by many people and many machineries. Then there is a chances of loss or damage to the goods. And unfortunately, if anything happened to the goods, then dispute will arise between the seller and buyer as who is going to bear this loss. Therefore, Incoterm play a very important role here. It decide the points. Means up to this point anything happen, then seller will bear the cost of loss, and beyond this point anything happen, then buyer will bear the cost. Second point, at what point the responsibility for transportation and custom related costs shift from the seller to the buyer. See, goods move from the seller factory, buyer warehouse. Then it uses many mode of transports and many agencies are involved and they provide their services to the exporter and importer. Then it is a duty of seller and buyer to pay to this agency, bear this transportation cost. Right. Then Incoterm gives the clarity who will pay transportation cost up to which point, and from this point the buyer will pay the transportation cost or buyer will pay to the agency. And there are custom related cost also. In the country of origin there is a clearance cost. In country of destination there is a clearance cost, import duty payment. Then Incoterms give the clarity who will pay this cost, whether the seller will pay cost or buyer will pay cost. Under Incoterm 2010, this was earlier version, The international commercial terms are grouped into E, F, C, D, but the 11 predefined terms of Incoterm 2020 in the later version are subdivided into two categories based only on method of delivery. Please remember, it is decided on the method of delivery. Means there are four Incoterms are exclusively used for sea transportation only. They will not use for road, rail or air transport. They are specially made for sea transport. Okay, and these 11 Incoterms, this can be used for road, rail, sea, air, for any mode of transport. Incoterms play very important role in government regulations also. In some jurisdictions, the duty cost of goods may be calculated against specific Incoterms. For example, in India, duty is calculated against CI value of the goods, and in South Africa, it is calculated on FOB value of goods. Therefore, Incoterm play very important role while paying the import duty. Okay, those hope you understood everything. Now we will move to the second slide. Friends, these are Incoterm 2020. See, you can see there are 8 Incoterms: X work, FCA. There are FCA two types: one seller premises and at not seller premises. Then CPT, CIP, DAP, DPU, and DDP. These 8 Incoterms are used for any mode or modes of transport. Okay, this can be used road, rail, sea, and air. Any mode of transport this can be used. Okay, now we'll move to the second slide. Friends, these are another four Incoterm. These are specially made for sea or inland waterway transport. You have to study these four Incoterms very deeply because 85% of world export import done through sea, and these four Incoterms are used frequently. Therefore, better understanding is required for all these four Incoterms. Okay, sir. Now I will see these four Incoterms in detail in next slide. Friends, this is the complete chart of Incoterms. I advise take the printout and paste it in your desktop because it defines seller obligations, buyer obligations, and the risk fund. The loss or damages happen to the cargo, then who has to bear the losses is defined the risk point. First, you understand the chart. You need to understand the parties, steps, procedure involved while transporting the goods from seller to buyer. There are parties: seller, local transporter, custom house agent, pre-shipment inspection agency, shipping line, airline, destination custom house agent, post-shipment inspection agency, destination local transport, and buyer. Every stakeholder provides their services for the seller or the buyer in the transaction, and they need to pay for their services. Here, Incoterm provides the clarity that who should bear the cost and up to the specific destination. If you see the chart, you can see the seller factory is there, then cargo move to the port from these carriers, then this is a port, then it is loaded on ship, then it comes to the destination port, it is unloaded here, then after completing custom formalities, import custom formalities, it is loaded on another vehicle, then it move to the destination place and buyer warehouse. These are Incoterms. Hmm. The blue color, this one, blue color define this, this blue color define the seller's responsibility, and the saffron color define the buyer buyer responsibility. See, if you go further down, you are trying to use the Incoterms. These Incoterms, the responsibility of seller is increasing, and the responsibility of buyer is decreasing. Not only responsibility of seller increasing, the cost to the seller also increasing, and the cost to the buyer is decreasing. And these are the risk point are also defined. Means loss, if thing loss or slippage is happen, who is going to bear the loss. Everything defined in this chart. You need to study this chart details. I will go each Incoterm in detail. What are the costs seller has to bear and what are the cost buyer has to bear. That will be explained in each individual slide. The X work. X work. Under this Incoterm, the seller has the minimum obligation. If you see, he has the minimum obligation and buyer has to perform more duties. Okay. What is the X work? X works in seller obligations. Seller has to provide the goods. He has to manufacture in his factory. This is a factory. Okay. He has to provide the export documentation. He has to provide the proper export packaging so that goods should not be damaged in transit. Marking as per the customer requirement. He has to place the goods to buyer disposal. He has to keep the goods ready at his own premises or it has or in his warehouse, and he has to place intimate to buyer my good your order goods are ready in my factory warehouse, kindly arrange to pick up. In short, seller has to keep the goods ready only. Buyer has to arrange the vehicle to pick up the cargo from seller premises. He has to send the cargo, send the vehicle, and he has to pick up from the seller premises. As per the Incoterm, when vehicle reached to the seller premises, seller not supposed to load the cargo on the vehicle send. Buyer has to send the loader along with the vehicle so that his loader will load the cargo from seller premises on the vehicle. See, buyer obligation. Export license, custom clearance. He has to do the custom clearance also. He has to pre-carriage terminal. Pre-carriage terminal means he has to arrange the vehicle and send to the seller premises. He has to unloading charges at port, main freight of the vessel, then discharge onward carriage to the buyer country, means once cargo reach to the destination, unloading at destination port, all order charges. He has to arrange the import clearance. He has to arrange upon the CHA to clear the import cargo. He has to provide the import duties. Hmm. And if there is a pre-shipment inspection cost, anything is there, he has to bear the pre-shipment cost. This comes under X work. Now we are going to learn FCA. FCA. There are FCA two types, at seller premises or not seller premises. Okay. Here it is a one step ahead than X works. Please remember. Now we are going one by one Incoterms, in which the obligation toward the seller will increase and obligation toward the buyer will come down. In this case, compared to the X works, this additional arrangement has to be done by seller, pre-carriage to terminal. In X work, why what is to do that buyer is to arrange the vehicle up to seller premises, right? Now seller himself will arrange the vehicle, he will load the cargo on the vehicle and he will dispatch the cargo to the port. He will dispatch to here. See, what are the seller obligation? Commercial invoice, documentation, packaging, I told you, marking as per the X work, export license, custom formalities, pre-shipment carriage to terminal. He has to provide the pre-carriage to the terminal, means he has to arrange the vehicle and he has to deliver the name place. It may be port or it may be the buyer warehouse in country of origin. Cost of pre-shipment inspection is there, he has to bear, and intimation to the buyer and proof of delivery means he has to provide the intimation to the buyer as per the agreed term. I had delivered the cargo to the port or I had delivered the cargo to the your designated agent, and he has to provide the proof of delivery. Buyer obligation starts once cargo is reached to the port or warehouse. He unloading arrival means of transportation. He has to provide the loading charges on main vehicle, vessel, main carriage means freight carriage to the vessel, discharge after cargo reach to the destination, discharge, clearance, import duties, further arrangement to this warehouse, everything has to be taken care by buyer here. Now we are moving to the next slide. Now we'll understand the FAS, free alongside sea. It's itself defined as free alongside sea. Means seller has to make the cargo available near to the ship here. He has to make the cargo available here. From this factory point to up to this point, everything has to be looked after by seller. See, this term is used in the sea shipment only. Therefore, I put the for your better understanding, I put the ship's image here so that you will understand it is used in the sea transaction only. See, this fast is mostly used in the bulk cargo, in chartering, where the full vessel is chartered. Hmm. You see the rice, weight, coal, pulses, IOP, iron fines, iron pellets. These are used in mines products. Where cargo is in bulk, there is no specific packaging. There are charter vessel is arranged. There are holes are there. Cargo is uploaded in the holes. This type of transactions they use mostly free alongside sea. Here, what is the seller obligation? As discussed earlier, he has to make everything invoice documentation, packaging if applicable. Most of the cargo, there is no packaging, it is in the loose. Export license, he has to do the custom formalities also. Hmm. And he has to provide the laken to the buyer. Means he has to tell the buyer the date on which the cargo will be available at port. So that buyer will arrange the vessel according to load capabilities and he will take berth at port. See, pre-carriage to the terminal, directly alongside the vessel at port of ship means seller has to bear all the cost, transportation from mines or his factory to the port. He has to unload here. He has to do the custom formalities and keep the cargo ready. And buyer will arrange the vessel. He will take the berth. Vessel will take the berth here. It will upload the cargo here, and vessel will go to the discharge port. And if cost of precipient inspection and cost of post-shipment inspection, these are two costs are there. In the bulk cargo, there are always mostly there are two inspections happens because this cargo uh, when it is loaded, it is prone to the natures. When it is loaded, the same quantity will not find at destination. There will be slight variation in that. Therefore, pre-shipment inspection and post-shipment inspection is carried out at both the board, and their contract is defined who is to bear the cost of pre-shipment and post-shipment, and which inspection agency will carry out the post pre-shipment post-shipment is defined in their contracts, sales and purchase contract. The buyer obligations. Payment to the seller as agreed, uh, loading loading charges, main carriage freight. See, buyer is arranging the vehicle means he has to pay the freight charges. Discharge onward carriage, import formalities. Once cargo reaches to he has to unload cargo, he has to do the custom formalities and he has to pay the duties. And regarding the post shipment and pre shipment, I have already explained to you. Now we will move to the next Incoterm. Friend, now we are going to learn the FOB. FOB, free on board. Please note, this is a Incoterm used in the sea transaction and it is a widely used in the international transaction. Therefore, you should have the clarity on FOB. FOB is similar as FAS, but here is the additional responsibility. In FAS, a seller is delivering the cargo here alongside sea. But in FOB, seller responsibility to load the cargo on the vessel. This is additional responsibility. Means seller has to bear all the cost arise up to the loading of the cargo. Yeah, means same thing. Goods, commercial invoice, documentation, packaging, marking, export license, pre-carriage delivery, loading charges. See, he has to bear the loading charges. Delivery onboard vessel name port means what are the vessel designated by seller? He has to load the cargo on that vessel. Cost of recipient inspection. The buyer response. Buyer has to appoint his own agent in the country of origin who will arrange the vessel for him, or he has to directly arrange the vessel and instruct the seller, I am arranging so and so vessel and it will be sail on so and so date. Accordingly, buyer seller has to arrange the cargo and he has to make the arrangement. Then cargo will move to the discharge port, and after the discharge, what are the import formalities, duties, everything seller has to bear. Now we'll move to next Incoterm. Now we'll learn the CFR. It is also used in the C transaction. It is a one step ahead of FOB. In FOB, seller seller has to arrange the cargo on vessel, but vessel will be arranged. Who will arrange the vessel? Customer. This customer will arrange the vessel. But here, seller has to arrange the vessel also, and he has to pay the freight. This is the additional one. Okay, other things will remain same. Means export packaging, licensing, loading charges. Here he has to pay the additional freight, similar to FOB, but he has to pay the additional freight. He has to arrange the vessels. Once goods are loaded, once BL is received, he has to send to the buyer. And other charges from this charge, once it is unloaded here, unloaded at destination port, from here to here charges will be borne by the buyer. Now we'll move to the second slide. Friends, now we are going to see the Incoterm CIF. See what we have learned in the FOB. Seller will make all the arrangement. He take the cargo here, do the custom formatting, and he will arrange to load the cargo on the vessel. In CFR, what we learn, he will do the same formalities, but he will pay the additional freight for this vessel. CIF is further step for CFR. Here he will pay the additional charge, not only freight, he will pay the insurance also. Means what are the cargo he has sold to the buyer, he will arrange the insurance cover for that. If anything goes wrong in the cargo, loss or damage, the seller will cover the insurance for that. When the vessel is sold, he will endorse the insurance policy in the name of buyer and he will send to the buyer. If something goes wrong, the buyer will claim the damage or he will claim what are the amounts to the insurance company. Therefore, the endorsement on the insurance policy is the most important while transferring the document from seller to buyer. As I explained, everything same. He will pay the additional insurance charges. Okay, and this is especially used for the C shipment. Okay, we'll move to the next slide. Friends, now we'll come to the CPT. Here, seller will take the more responsibility. You see, the blue bar is extended up to here. Okay, up to here. Means seller will take the more responsibility for the cargo delivery. Means he has to bring to the port, he has to do the custom formalities here, he has to load on the vessel, he has to pay the freight, everything he has to pay. Then cargo unloaded at destination. Hmm. Here difference is that he will make the arrangement of goods to the name place of destination. This place is always in the country of buyer. Okay, he will make arrangement up to here, but there is one difference. When cargo is unloaded here, the buyer will clear the cargo. Buyer agent, custom agent will clear the import clearance. Buyer will pay the import charges, import duty charges. Buyer will pay the cost of import clearance and import formalities and duties, whatever the buyer will pay. He will just facilitate, seller will facilitate to ensure that goods will be delivered at name place. This name place will be here in the buyer country. Okay, do you understood? Okay, now we'll move to the next slide. Now we will learn the CIP. You must be wondering that blue bar and the saffron bar is same as CPT. Then what is the difference in that? Definitely, the question will arise in your in your mind. The both are same thing, CPT and CIP, but in CIP, the insurance cost will be bear, additional insurance cost will be bear by seller. Insurance cost will be bear by seller. All the terms and condition of CPT and CIP will be remain same. Nothing, there is no difference. But CIP and CPT is mostly used in air freight, container ocean freight, small shipments, small parcel shipment, or RoRo shipment of motor vehicles. Okay, now we'll go move to the next slide. Now we'll learn the DPU, delivery at place unloaded. This place is always in the buyer country. Okay, he will arrange everything here, but he will not unload. From the unloading, here buyer has to make the charge. Buyer has to pay for all the charges, including the unloading. See, as defined earlier, here is the pre-carriage delivery, loading charges, main carriage, uh, unloading means unloading at port. Okay, port of proof of delivery, cost of recipient. Here, buyer obligations. The here he has to pay the import formalities, means he has to pay the CHA bills for import clearance and duties, cost of import clearance, pre-shipment inspection, anything, and onward carriage or delivery to the buyer. Means he will deliver up to here. Yeah. If there is onward carriage from this destination to this station or this destination, that will be taken care by buyer. Okay. Now we'll move to the next slide. As explained in the earlier slide, the DPU, this is a one step ahead of DPU, that is DAP, delivery at place. Means up to DPU, he was delivering up to here. Now he will deliver up to here in DAP. Means additional charges of further carriage will be borne by seller. This is the additional charges. This is additional charges borne by seller. And everything will be same as per DPU, that import cost of import clearance, import formalities, duties, everything will be paid by buyer. This is only difference. Okay. Now we'll move to the next Incoterm. This is the last term, DDP. DDP, delivery duty paid. Here all the responsibility comes on the shoulder of seller. Okay, he will manufacture the good, he will move to the port, he will pay for the inland transport charges, it will come to the port, he will do the custom formalities, he will arrange the vessel, he will load on the vessel, he will pay the freight, then arrival at destination port, he will unload here, he will do all the custom formalities uh, through his own CHA. He paid the CHA bill, he will arrange the uh, destination transport, inland country transport, he delivered destination place or buyer warehouse or factory. Means seller is taking the complete responsibility. He pay the freight, cost, insurance, and even he pay the import duties also. Import duties also. He paid the arrange for import clearance also. Means buyer has to place just the order. Goods will be delivered to his warehouse or his factory by seller. The complete responsibility come done by seller only. Okay, this is the complete terms. Hmm. Okay, do you now you understood the DDP. We'll move to next slide. Yes, friend. Thanks for giving your valuable time. Hope you understood all the Incoterms in the detail. Here I would like to update you what the Salini International provide, what Salini International do, and what type of service Salini International. I request if you require any type of these services, please please be in touch with us. Hmm. See the in short, please give me 1 minute. I will explain what are the services offered by Salin International. We do the pre-shipment and post-shipment documentations. See, in the letter of credit, you have to produce a document discrepancy free so that you will get the payment on time. If the documents are discrepant, then the fund is at risk. At buyer, it is at buyer disposal. We ensure that the document under letter of credit are discrepancy free so that you will get the payment. Also, we save the charges on your discrepancy that is charged by bank. Unnecessary wasting of 150 $200 doesn't have any meaning. We'll ensure that you will save that discrepancy fees also. We, we also do take care of custom clearance also. We also provide the best sea freights, air freight or rail freight, road freight. We do advise on trade finance, means banking, pre-shipment, post-shipment, loan and factoring and forfeiting also. We do provide service for chartering also through Handymax vessel or Supermax vessel. We have extended service for DGFT licensing. We provide advanced authorization, CPCG, DFIA status holder. We do the system audits also. Means we advise, do the system. We come to the company, our staff to do the system audits and advise where your staff is doing mistakes on doing so that next time this mistake should not be happen. We take the GST activities also. Activities also. Thanks for providing your valuable time, sir. I hope to see any inquiry for this Alini International. If you like this video, please like it, share the video. Also, please subscribe to the channel and push the ring button so that you will be intimated as soon as I uploaded the next video. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. See you soon, sir. Bye bye.